So I'm just going to clean up and get rid of that extra input spot and just take my output and drag it to my target column. So now, just to recap, we've created a function that takes the home phone number from our table, gets rid of any character that's not the numbers 0 through 9, splits off the first 3 characters here, then splits off the last 4 characters, and then puts them back together with the dash in between. So now that we're finished that, we just have to name our transformation. So clean up home phone, save it. So now we're ready to actually run the transformation, and to do that we go to the run cleansing engine. And just a few things here. If you want to run the cleansing against every record in your input file, you set the value to 0. It will by default select all the transformations that you have. So if you're running multiple transformations against that data, it will run them all. You can open up a window to select the ones you want to run. In this case, we've only got the home phone transformation, so we can use select all. In your log, you can have a number of different message levels, all, info, fatal, warn, whatever you want, or you can turn it right off. Typically you want to look at them when you're trying and testing out your transformations, but when you're running it against a sizable data set, you probably want to turn it off, because you'll actually find that the DQguru will spend more time writing out the log results than it will actually doing the transformation. So we're ready to go. All we have to do is click Run Engine. You will get a recommendation that you back up your source data before you run, because guess what? It is changing that table. It is going to clean that data, and if your transformation logic isn't quite right, you could end up with something that you really didn't want. You won't have a copy of the source data anymore. So it's usually a good idea to back it up. So we're just going to run it. In this case, because we set ourselves to info level, we don't get a lot of details. If we ran it at debug or all, you'd see a huge amount of data coming by. So that is now completed. So let's go back to Wabbit and have a look at the data. So you'll note here we still have the results from the prior select star. I'm just going to rerun my statement, and voila, you'll note all of my home phone numbers, as opposed to being a mix of formats, are now all formatted the way I wanted them. So very simply and easily, we have now run a cleansing utility against DQguru. And that's really all it takes to do cleansing on the system. A very nice graphical interface. You can see exactly what's going in the flow of it. And you can save this, rerun it, use it again down the road. And the other thing I do want to show is if you want to incorporate this into an ETL tool, if you're using something like Informatica or Pentaho's data integration tool or Talend, you can actually have a look at the command line that will allow you to run this from another program or from a batch file. So you can actually just copy and paste this and run it in something else if it's part of a bigger process. So I wanted to show you the cleansing. In some of the other screencasts, we'll walk through how to dedupe a file and how to run Canadian address correction. We do have a couple of other open source products that are well worth looking at. Power Architect is our data and process modeling tool. It's kind of like an Irwin, but it is open source. It's free to download and use. It has a very substantial community behind it. It's got well over 160,000 downloads, fairly active user forum, and fairly regular updates to the product. Wabbit is SQL Power's ad hoc standard reporting BI tool. You got a bit of a flavor for it. It is extremely easy to use and geared really towards end users who, aren't super comfortable with writing SQL code. And one thing I didn't show you in it was it does have a report generator, so you can actually build up reports with a fair amount of graphics and subtotaling and the like. So it's actually very handy, very useful tool. And you can find all of these at sqlpower.ca. You can download any of the open source products there. You can join our user forums if you have questions or suggestions on how to improve the products, or you want to see what other people are saying. And there's some other neat stuff in there that you can play around with, information about data warehousing, business intelligence, and the like, and where we think things are going. Finally, if you like what you see, but you don't have the time to clean up your data, or you need some help, SQL Power is here to help you. We've been working with organizations, helping them do data migration, ETL work, business intelligence, data warehousing now for over 20 years, and we can help you clean up your data, correct your data issues, identify them, and fix them. We have never failed a client, and work with us and you will not fail. So again, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch our little screencast about DQguru. I hope it has helped explain a little bit about what the product can do, and look forward to hearing about your uses. Again, this is John Kemp, Principal Consultant with SQL Power, and thank you for your time.